All right, welcome to our 25-26 season Winter Media Day. Storrow didn't get printed name tags, so let's just do introductions down the line, our left to right.
Okay. I'm Owen Serck, senior.
Tate Lyle, junior.
Coach Chesnut.
No, go.
Coach Chesnut.
Reese, Olson, junior. Lillie, Boden, sophomore. Oops.
Okay, welcome to our Media Day. We'll just kind of get it teed up with just kind of an easy starter question here, and then we'll have some of our elementary students that came to participate get a few questions in front of you, and then we'll kind of open it up to part of our dog bone team. But Coach Chesnut, your few practices in, maybe just talk in general about kind of how the season started and kind of what you're looking ahead to in this Rams season.
Yeah, very, very good start to the season. I think overall, as a team, we're a little bit more experienced than I've had in the past, with more, I guess, high schoolers, not having middle schoolers in our varsity lineup looking forward. So we've been able to start kind of hitting the ground running. So I think we've gotten more accomplished and looking forward to our first event, December 4th, I believe, at home here. So that'll be fun.
Okay, very good. I know I've got a couple that have questions. Who are our wrestling questioners right here? Gentlemen, go ahead.
What do you eat before a meal? Or no, what do you eat before? What do you eat before a game?
All right, rest of the game here. Oh, and you gotta take it off.
I usually kind of go pretty crazy after weigh-ins, so I'd say I eat like PB&J maybe, some fruit, chips, that'd be about it.
I usually have a homestyle Rice Krispie bar 5, and then maybe have some other snacks as well. Some stuff with sugar in it.
I don't like to eat that much before a match, I guess. Like if we're going to a tournament, I'll eat that morning, but otherwise I usually have like glucose packets on me or just like other snacks, Powerade.
I really just eat applesauce. That's like my whole diet, honestly. Just applesauce.
Coach, you got any pregame meals or big tournament? Like what is it to kind of get you through?
Well, I guess back when I was competing, if we're talking about a duel, you have an hour after weigh-in, so you have to be kind of watch what you're eating. You can't just go crazy. I know Owen said he went crazy. I don't know if PBJ really applies, peanut butter and jelly really applies to that, but because you have to wrestle right away. When you have a tournament, it's 2 hours after weigh-in, so you can take in a little bit more. But I guess I used to pack a pretty big cooler, bunch of random stuff, but I always had a few sandwiches in there, sometimes cereal in the morning. Every now and then I'd put pancakes in there for some quick carbs, but yeah, that was about it.
Okay, my other elementary reporter who else has a wrestling question, go ahead.
How does it feel like to be a wrestler?
I'd say wrestling's pretty tough. It's a tough sport. You gotta kind of watch what you eat, do all the stuff, do everything right way. But I'd also say it's pretty rewarding, so I mean, I think it's tough, but it's pretty cool. I mean, it's just you out there, so I'd say it's cool.
Yeah, I think it's good. I think you get back whatever you put into it, so it's rewarding if you try your hardest on it.
I guess I'd say it's different than most sports. So in most sports you feel kind of like it's like a team, and in wrestling like it is a team, but at the end of the day like you have to know that you're going out there by yourself and you have to be able to do it by yourself.
Yeah, it's mentally challenging, but it's also so rewarding when you finally get down the skills you're trying to learn and get to go out and wrestle.
On the food thing, Coach, I guess if you haven't really eaten anything all week and then you finally do have a peanut butter and jelly, that probably is going hog wild, probably.
Yeah, I suppose. Maybe last year that was the case, but.
Diego, what do you have for the wrestlers?
All right. I continue with this question. I asked the boys and girls basketball about this, but when you make a sandwich and you finish it and you want to cut it in half, how do you do it? Horizontally or diagonally?
Horizontally, probably because my angles probably aren't the best, so just go make it easy.
I would probably say horizontal as well.
Horizontally, because if you cut it diagonally you only get 2 good bites, but you could get 4 if you cut it horizontally.
Horizontally.
I honestly would not think about cutting it if I was cutting weight. I would just eat the whole thing.
Very good.
Right.
Kelly, you got something for him?
Just what is your individual goals for the season?
I'd say one of my big goals is be on top of the podium at state wrestling. Fell one match short last year, so I guess one more year to see what we can do.
I would say place at state. I made it to state my freshman year, but I would rather place at state. I want to place at state.
I want to be in the championship match this year. Last 2 years I've been in the third place match, so this year I want to be in the championship match.
Have a better winning record than I did last year and qualify for state.
Coach, kind of team
Yeah,
goals?
I'll start with the girls. I would like to, and we have more out this year, I'd like to maybe fill more of a lineup. And I know most of their schedule is a tournament schedule, but, you know, get these two back to the state tournament and get more with them. And start building that girls program so we have, get more numbers out. And then for the guys, I think we have a shot at being pretty good this season. I think we were 7-8 last year with our dual meet record. So looking to improve on that and have a winning season there. And then get guys back to the state tournament and get to the podium. I think we have about 7 or 8 guys who at some point have made the tournament. So get them back there and then perform. Do well at that tournament, get on the podium, and maybe get our highest Class A finish that we've had in program history. So.
Okay, you threw a couple good things in here that I'll feed off of. So you talked about the girls lineup, addition of more weight classes. So, you know, if you kind of look, instead of maybe 7-pound intervals or whatever it was, I mean, now you're kind of like 5-pound intervals. Got to kind of help in some aspects in terms of a competition standpoint. Maybe it's something, Lillie, you could speak to. Excited about the additional weight classes and just the new intervals of 5 pounds, at least for the lower weights?
Yeah, last year I struggled to like make weight, and I was concerned about like what weight class I'd have to wrestle this year, like being way underweight or having to cut a lot. So being able to wrestle in like 5-pound intervals is really helpful.
It doesn't make a whole lot of difference to me, I guess. It's still like around the same weight for me.
And then, Coach, you talked about kind of filling more of those slots. Do you have kind of an idea where you think people may land, or how many of those you might fill with now the new weight classes for the girls?
Yeah, I think 100 to about pretty much wherever Reese is at. 135 maybe. We should be full there. But yeah, and it's really going to help when these girls get to tournaments, and sometimes it gets to be long days, but we have more girls to watch and more to root on. Makes those days a little bit shorter. So.
Okay, flopping to the guys side, lineup-wise, still thinking kind of fill most of them. You're going to have a couple opens, or what do you think you'll have there for lineup on the guys side?
Yeah, looking to when we get to the weights we should be able to get full. There are certain weights where we might have to bump up and to fill that spot, but I think we have a shot to have a full dual team this season. Yep.
Okay, very good. Tate, I'll throw it specifically at you, just coming off of injury now into your junior season. Really physical football player on that defensive line spot. Maybe talk about coming back into the wrestling room again now, hopefully healed up, and just that physical nature, and kind of always been a quick action guy, a lot of excitement on the mat.
Yeah, my shoulder feels good, and it's just getting back into those positions. Again, just got to feel normal, but otherwise it's fine. It feels good. That's it.
Owen, I'll throw one directly at you. I've watched you play football as like a middle schooler. Now competing as a senior. You always play bigger. You're always a bigger competitor than your physical size. You even bring it on the student section when we play against Alcester-Hudson. Always the front of the crowd and the cheering. Just describe maybe that mindset or mentality. It's just out there just going as hard as you can.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I've always been told it's not the size of the dog in the fight, but the size of the heart in the dog. But I mean, that's just something I try to live by. But yeah, size don't really matter much to me, especially in a sport like wrestling. Everybody's got their own weight class, so.
Okay, where do you think you're going to land this year in a weight class?
I'll probably be at 120 pounds.
120?
Yep, getting a little bigger.
Follow up on that, Owen. You talked about this right here, and then how wrestling's so rewarding, and just to be honest, I've known you a long time, of course. You probably didn't have much choice to wrestle, right? You had a choice, but it's just your family, kind of everybody's been involved, and a long history in that. And you kind of talked about how it's rewarding to maybe get that win or things like that? Like maybe explain like for you why it was especially rewarding when you finally got that first true varsity win. Like you had been waiting for quite a while, not because you couldn't win matches. Just kind of explain that maybe.
Yep. I struggled like making the minimum weight when I was younger, so finally be able to like crack the lineup and get some wins, not just for me but for the team, was a pretty good feeling. I mean, wrestling's very individual, but it's more of a team aspect than you'd think. And plus, like, long history of wrestling in my family, so following my brother and my dad and my uncle's footsteps, they had their own successful careers. I'm looking to write my own story, so.
You just one more follow-up too, like coming off of, you guys had a really good football season again and just came up a little bit short, like ready to kind of try to take one more crack at it, like you said.
Yep.
Kind of finish business here at state wrestling this year.
Yep.
You were 106 last year?
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm tired of coming up one short or a little bit here, a little bit there. I think it's got to take matters into your own hands, so, yeah. One more shot.
Okay, if we look ahead to the schedule again as girls wrestling just evolves, I think we're starting to kind of figure out, where those opportunities land. Maybe talk a little bit about maybe a couple highlights that, Coach, you think are on the girls' schedule opportunities, but then what are some of the big matches you're kind of looking ahead to, whether it's a dual or a tournament on the boys' side?
All right, for the girls' side, Rapid City Invite's a good tester to start the year, where you got teams from South Dakota, obviously, but then North Dakota as well. So good matches to get the season underway, to kind of see where you're at, maybe see if your weight class is where you should be or if that needs to be changed. And then moving on into January, there is a Harrisburg tournament that's packed full of teams. And then we also go to Pierre, which is also another tester. And usually at those tournaments, you're going to see most of the girls in the state and have a chance to see them if they're in the rankings. If maybe you hadn't seen them all year, you have that opportunity to see where you are and make a name for yourself. And then on the boys' side, right back to Rapid City, another tester. Usually, if you can place at that
Apologies for the
tournament.
interruption. Any high school students interested in powerlifting this year, we will have a meeting in the library today over lunch. Once again, any high schoolers interested in powerlifting, there'll be a meeting in the library today over lunch. Thank you.
Usually, if you can place at that tournament, then you're looking pretty good for the state tournament as well. So I know we've had some guys come up a little bit short at that tournament, and I'm sure they're looking forward to maybe getting on that podium or winning more matches. And it kind of gets you a little bit more motivated if you maybe don't do as well. But if you do well, you're geared up and you're ready to go for the rest of the season. And then we have a Christmas tournament at Sioux Falls Lincoln. That's always a fun one. And then towards the end of the year, we go to the Brookings Invite, which has most of the teams in our region there. I believe all of them. So that's kind of a pre-region tournament to see where we are at heading into February. So.
Wrestling community, I'll use that community word, is kind of unlike any other, at least in high school sports. Coach or maybe even athletes, we just don't see the number of volunteers that help out make this thing run in other sports like we do in wrestling. Again, I just would use that. It's a wrestling mindset or community, but maybe talk about some of your volunteers you've got helping you out throughout the season.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like a lot of these wrestling events, a lot of it's on the weekends and it's a lot of time that goes into it, but there's just so many helpers that go into it, putting together dual meets or tournaments and the time that goes into it. And that's usually starts with the youth wrestling program. We have Beresford, we have Alcester-Hudson, both have youth programs, and then when that comes together, we have all those family members helping out. And it's nice to see when we have wrestlers from our youth program that stick it out and make it all the way through to their senior year, and those parents have been putting in the time that all those years. So
well, maybe
it's really
specifically
rewarding.
Like volunteer coaches kind of helping you day in, day out, or at tournaments.
Oh, coaches, yeah. So, well, I'll talk about our volunteers specifically first, but we have Butch Farley, who's been in our program for the longest time, but his wrestling knowledge is really stands out, and all the kids know him, they appreciate him, and he does a great job with that. And then on the girls' side, we have Megan Klentz, and she may not have wrestled, but she is starting to pick it up as the girls pick it up as well, and she's someone that they can talk to and rely on, and it's great help. And then we also have Jeremy Coe, who he was a great wrestler in high school, wrestled in college. So it's just, when we have all of these coaches that know what they're doing and can help, it's just going to make each one of us better. And then with our other coaches, Owen knows these guys, Phil and Logan Serck. Phil was a longtime wrestling coach at Alcester-Hudson, so he still helps me out to this day, and sometimes I'll have him even run a practice. And then Logan Serck, got him back this year as a coach. He was one of my favorite athletes to coach these past few seasons, so always good to have him back. And then, of course, Mike Shirk does a good job with maybe some of the bigger guys on the team, but he's one that makes everybody laugh, cracks a joke here and there, so it's good to have that as well.
High school, you guys got any questions for him? What are you going to throw at him?
Why did you start wrestling?
I started wrestling when I was in kindergarten. I was really young. Just with my family, they kind of just put me into it, and I fell in love with it from there, and it's been great.
Yeah, my parents put me into it when I was in elementary school when I was really young, and then I just stuck with it.
I guess it's not really like a family legacy for me, but in 7th grade, I guess I played football, and one day in the hallway, Taven Waller came up to me and asked me if I'd do wrestling with her, and I basically said, like, if you do it, I'll do it, and then we ended up joining together, and then I've just stuck it out since then.
When I was in 2nd grade, my parents put me into wrestling, and I wrestled for like 3 years, and then I quit. And when I got into middle school, I really started missing it. So when we had a girls' team, I just decided to join.
Okay. Never want to focus on food as wrestlers if you're cutting weight, but Thanksgiving is upon us. So if you're looking, two-part question, the turkey or ham. Then you go into the mashed potatoes or the sweet potatoes. So turkey or ham, and then is it mashed potatoes or sweet potatoes?
I'd say turkey for sure, and mashed potatoes, not even a question.
Ham and mashed potatoes.
Yeah, sure. Ham and mashed potatoes.
Ham and mashed potatoes.
I'm also ham, mashed potatoes. I'm not a big
Okay.
turkey guy.
All right. Owen's the odd turkey out between the basketball team, both basketball teams, and the wrestling team. He's the odd bird out. Mashed potatoes were unanimous. So. Diego, you got another question for him?
Do you guys have any like personal rivalries with someone, either on the team or off the team?
I wouldn't say I have too many personal rivals, but as Coach Chesnut told me today, it should be my goal to beat a West Central kid, because my history there is not great. But I wouldn't say I have any rivalries, but it means a little more when you beat someone like that, I guess.
I don't have any rivalries. I just like to win, I guess, but no rivalries for me.
I mean, I guess I don't have any like personal anything with anybody, but I guess there's like a couple matches that I think back to, like I beat him earlier in the season, and then when state came around, I just didn't win, and I guess I still have rough feelings about that I could go back and be upset.
I don't have any rivals.
It does happen a lot where you might wrestle the same person 4 or 5, 6 times a year. So, yeah, those can start to pop up, and it becomes a little, hey, I'm trying to get after this guy, and I got to take care of business. So.
I got a follow-up question. And then, what team are you most hoping to beat this year?
What do you guys think?
For like duels,
Yeah, duels.
what do you say?
Yeah, I mean, so our dual schedule has changed quite a bit, but we added Elk Point, we added Canton, Dakota Valley, so that's kind of our schools that are closer to us, so yeah, we'd like to beat them.
So let's, with the minutes we have left here, let's kind of hit on what we'll call our home events for the year. So coming up, not this Thursday, but the following, so December 4th, we have a home triangular with the Watertown Arrows and the Yankton Bucks and Gazelles. A couple quick thoughts on that one before we go to our event we'll hold in Alcester-Hudson.
Watertown, they're always a very good wrestling program, so we'll definitely have some tough matches there. I think that'll be a pretty good team to duel to just kind of see where you're at for the beginning of the year. I mean, the matches at the beginning of the year don't really matter. You just got to keep getting better and better and better and then perform in the postseason. And then Yankton's definitely a team we can probably beat up on and hopefully and win some matches there.
Yeah, they're both good teams, and it'll be fun to wrestle them earlier and see what we got in the beginning of the season.
Yeah, like Owen said, Watertown's always pretty solid. So we'll probably have them right out of the gate. We'll have to be ready to go. And then Yankton's up and coming. They have some younger wrestlers that are pretty solid, and I believe they've beaten us the last couple of years. So it would be nice to take care of business there.
At least on the girls' side, Watertown usually has full lineup top to bottom. So pretty much all of our girls should get a match, maybe an exhibition, because they usually have enough for a JV too. So we should get quite a few matches with Watertown.
Yeah, I think it's good that we're getting like more girls out, so now we'll have more opportunities at duels. In the last few years, I feel like it's just been me and Reese at duels, so we haven't had much opportunity to get matches.
And I believe later in the season, looking at least what's on our bound site, Del Rapids and West Central, I believe is our other home try. Is it maybe a quad? Or is that
No, it's just
a try, and I believe that's going to be in Alcester. Is
yes,
that
we're
accurate?
going to change that to Alcester.
Okay, yep. So we will have Del Rapids and West Central as our other home event held in Alcester. Thoughts on Del's or the Trojans?
Hitting back on West Central, I guess that'd be a pretty cool one to beat in my home gym.
So you're going to have January 15th.
I have that one
Mark,
circled,
that one's
right?
gonna be starred.
Yep. And then Del Rapids, they're a decent team, but I think we should be able to take care of Del Rapids pretty handily.
Yeah, it'll be fun. Did we go to Alcester last year?
I don't think we had one.
Yeah,
last year,
so haven't been there in a while, but yeah, they'll be fun teams.
Yeah, looking at West Central, they beat up on us pretty well last year. So, and I think there's some matches where we should have been able to close the gap over the summer and over the course of this year, and we'll see where we're at. But I think we can perform a lot better than we did last season.
Okay, talk a little bit about off-season, maybe just hit on quickly with our minutes left, the camp you guys attended this. Camp you attended this summer, maybe takeaways from that and or any off-season work.
Yeah, so we went to Wartburg College in Iowa, D3 national champions. I thought they put on a great camp. I think everyone got at least 10 live matches in, boys and girls. I thought we wrestled well. And after year, sometimes you don't get people coming back to the camps and back in the team, but we've had a pretty consistent group of kids going to those camps, and everyone's out for the season, so it definitely helped. And then we also had some guys on the freestyle circuit, Russell Fargo, Bennett Farley, and Dexton Miller, some of our younger guys, but they had a great showing there. So we have kids that are doing more wrestling, and they're doing well, and that's only going to help in the winter here. So.
What is the number? There was a ton today that I saw. Like, what is the total wrestlers?
I think we're at about 25 boys and 10 girls, somewhere in there.
Okay, so 35 between the two. Yeah. With a few minutes left, our elementary reporters, anything else you want to get in front of our Rams wrestling squad yet today? Throw it out at them.
We gotta ask, ask yours, the shoe one.
How many pairs of shoes?
Yeah.
How many pairs of shoes do you have, and what's your favorite one?
For wrestling shoes, I don't know, they make fun of me. They're like the original default shoes is what they always say, but they're just black. And then I actually bought a new pair of shoes that should be coming here pretty soon that are pretty sweet. They're blue and gold. They're Asics, so it should be pretty cool.
Yeah, I have 5 pairs, but my favorite is the ones that my uncle gave to me because he wrestled with them in high school.
I have 3 shoes. I have the ones I wore my first year, and then I have these other ones. But this year, me and my sister Harper also went out for wrestling, and so we got one pair of pink shoes and one pair of white shoes, and then we're like the same size, so we switched one shoe. So we each have half of a set, and then we're also switching the laces. So those ones are my favorite.
I have 2 pairs of white Asics, but I like my ones I have this year better because they have pink and blue on the bottom, so they're more fun.
Go ahead, right here in the blue. Yep.
When you first started wrestling, was it like challenging?
Oh yeah, definitely challenging. I guess the main part was just learning the different moves and stuff. When you're young, you gotta get the technique down and try not to develop bad habits, but we probably all do. But yeah, it was tough right away, but you just gotta love it.
Yeah, the technique is hard to pick up when you're a kid, but it was also tough because I was a bigger kid, fat, and I wasn't very athletic at all. So just had to stick with it, wait till you grow up a little bit, then it was fun.
I'd say, especially if you don't join when you're like little, the first year sucks a lot. Like it sucks really bad. Like it just feels like you're left out of the whole group because everybody knows what they're doing, and then you just show up and it's just like you're behind. But I'd say second, third year is when it really starts to get fun.
Yeah, it's definitely challenging, like especially when I came back from not wrestling for 3 years and in my 7th grade year, and I have no idea what I'm doing, and I've forgotten everything I've learned. So the first few weeks were definitely a challenge.
Hey, high schoolers, any last questions before we wrap it up?
I don't know.
You go ahead.
Do you want to go pro? And if you go pro, what team would you want to go to?
Wrestling's kind of different. There's not really pro, like like college. Yeah, I mean wrestling in college would be pretty sweet. I don't know if I have my eyes set on like a certain college, but you always hear about Penn State. They're pretty gnarly at wrestling, so that'd be pretty cool. But don't really have my eyes set anywhere specific, but wrestling in college would be pretty cool.
Yeah, I would say wrestling in college would be fun, but it's a really big jump in technique and all that stuff. But if I was I'd probably want to go to Nebraska.
I guess I'm planning on going to a tech school, so I probably won't do any college sports. But
I definitely think it would be fun. I don't know if I want to do college sports at all yet, but if I got an opportunity to wrestle at a college I wanted to go to, I would probably take it.
Okay, we ran over a time. You guys have been good. We appreciate it. On behalf of Watchdogs.live, Dogbone Entertainment, we cheer on our Watchdogs, but we also cheer on our Rams. So good luck this season, athletes and coaches. I wish you the best. Thank you.